Hi, I'm Auri'An. I thought you might be wondering what exactly a crone is. You probably noticed that I spell it with a K and not with a C, which is how most people would recognise the term. Today, I thought I'd tell you a bit more about it, why I use that term and spell it differently, and also touch upon what the International Coalition of Krones is all about. But first, when you hear the word crone, what do you think? What sort of picture comes into your mind? I'd like to bet that it's not that different to the description that Wikipedia gives. This is what they have to say. In folklore, a crone is an old woman who may be disagreeable, malicious, or sinister in manner, often with magical or supernatural associations that can make her either helpful or obstructing. And that pretty much sums up what most people think. We usually tend to picture the Disney version of an ugly old hag with warts and chin hair, a wicked witch who could hex you. Wikipedia does go on to say that the crone is also an archetypal figure, a wise woman. Yes, Wikipedia does acknowledge the wise woman, but it's almost like an afterthought. And if you check out Google to see what they have to say about the word crone, you'll find that you might call her a crone if you're brave. But be careful because the term is insulting. Since the late 14th century, the word crone has been a term of abuse, describing an old and bad-tempered woman. The reality is that crone is the wise woman. She traditionally was the healer, the teacher, the midwife, the psychologist, the pharmacist, and heaps more. She is the holder of ancient knowledge and wisdom. She was a strong woman. There was a crone at the centre of almost every community. The crone was the first person someone would turn to if they were ill or needed assistance. Often strong-willed, dominant, the crone demands respect and won't take disrespect from anyone. She was revered, honoured, and protected for the invaluable treasure that she was, at least until the church and other male-dominated societies decided that she was a threat, and the witch hunt started. Remember, Google stated that the word crone has become a term of abuse since the 14th century. It is interesting, but when humans followed a matriarchal line, there were no wars. That's not to say the world was fully peaceful. There'll always be disputes and arguments in any society, but there were no major wars, not in the same way that we see them nowadays under patriarchal ruling. From a crone perspective, there are always other ways to solve disputes than with violence. Words have energy. Just think of the word war and think of how that makes you feel. It's not something that's warm and fluffy. And the term crone has been held in fear and contempt for so long that on hearing that word or reading it, we immediately think of that introduced archetype. The wicked old woman, hooked nose, warts, hairy chin and all. And now we have Krone, with a K. A new generation of wise women who are arising. We are starseed, and we came here with purpose. Now it is time for the Krone to rise up again, to re-stand in today's society as the powerful woman she is, to once again take her intended place at the centre of society, to be wise woman, teacher, healer. A crone doesn't have to be someone on a spiritual path. It could be the lovely old lady that helps children across the road to school. It could be the woman who goes and helps get the grocery shopping for the old guy who lives down the road and can't get there by himself. It could be your doctor. It could be your neighbour. We are being called upon to offer assistance in leading the way in guiding humanity away from the path of fear and anger and towards making the choices needed in bringing the collective consciousness of humanity and this beautiful planet back to the knowledge and wisdom that will lead us into a brighter future. These are the words of the founder of the International Coalition of Krones, Essence Catharis. The IKOK, the International Coalition of Krones, is an international group of spiritually awakened wise women whose goal is to assist the collective consciousness of humanity of Earth in its continued spiritual awakening and consciousness expansion journey during this time on Earth, referred to as the Great Awakening. Our aim is to assist and inspire each other through these challenging times as the collective consciousness of humanity of Earth continues its journey of consciousness expansion, and we begin awakening more and more into becoming conscious and intentional galactic beings. Are you a crone? It's not a title to take on lightly. It comes with huge responsibilities. But if you want to find out more, I have attached some links in the description. Places you might want to go and explore. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm Krone Auri'An of the International Coalition of Krones. Gaisha